Real Simple, where I, Jenessa Turbes, simplify all things real estate. Today, I am talking to my sellers. So we have prepared your listing, we have gone live on the market, we went under contract, possibly went through multiple offers. We have worked through the transaction, got through inspection and appraisal, and now we are getting ready to close. So congratulations on that. Yay. So I have probably told you that we have clear to close. So what exactly does that mean from a seller standpoint? So clear to close is basically saying that the buyer's lender has reviewed all of the documents and everything, and the buyer is officially fully approved for loan. What do you do with that information? Really, it's just a sigh of relief. There are no more big hurdles to worry about. The funding is basically secure and good. So we're almost as good as closed at this point as far as you're concerned. Now, leading up to closing, just remember that you do still have some responsibilities. So one of the big things is to make sure that all repair items are completed and that I have received the receipts so that I can send those on to the buyers. So if in the inspection objection there were any repairs that you had to complete, that's what needs to be done before closing, and I have to submit those receipts usually to the buyer's agent 24 to 48 hours before we close. So that's one responsibility that you still have. The second thing is that you need to make sure that the home is left in the agreed upon condition. So usually what it looks like at the time we went under contract, plus with any repairs that needed to be completed, right? So if you listed with me, we had somebody come in and clean it, right? Maybe we're having somebody clean it after you're out. Either way, the house is going to be left in a clean condition. No extra furniture and stuff. You do not get to just donate your furniture and things to the buyers. We do need to get that stuff removed from the house. I would recommend not hiring the movers the day of closing, just because sometimes movers can have delay. We do need to be out of there the day of closing. So, just think about that as you're moving. If possible, let's, schedule the movers for, 2 to 3 days before closing if we can make that work. So what does closing day actually look like? It's really easy for sellers. A lot of times you can even sign before the closing date. So sign before buyers, really anytime that week. Once we know that we have clear to close and we're good to go, then you can really sign at any time. Your appointment will take a lot less time than the buyer's appointment will, maybe like 30 minutes tops. There's not nearly as much paperwork to sign. You'll be basically signing like the deed transfer, the settlement statement, the closing disclosure, any affidavits. It's really a minimal packet and goes by really super fast. You will need to bring your photo ID to closing so that the notary has record of that. But other than that, closing day is really, really simple for you. 20 to 30 minutes in, then you're out, and then you don't really have to worry about it anymore. It doesn't necessarily have to happen with the buyers there. Like I said, you can sign before the buyers. Once the buyers sign, so what does it look like after closing? How do you get your money, right? That's what we're all worried about. So after the buyers sign and the funds are approved and the title company receives the funds, then the transaction is considered funded, which means that the home is now the buyer's and no longer yours. As far as getting your funds go, depending on when the buyers sign and close, your funds will either go out that day or the next business day. And it's usually pretty quick. They say give it like 24 hours. Usually it's quicker than that. So you will see your funds pretty quickly as far as a wire transfer goes, that's another thing, but that's usually how I recommend you get your funds. So anyway, so that's kind of what closing day looks like. So before closing, we'll get clear to close. That means that we are good to go. Buyers have their final approval. It's your responsibility to make sure that all repairs are done and that the house is left in the agreed upon condition. Basically, all of your personal property needs to be out and no holes in the wall, nothing like that. And then closing day, you don't have to close with the buyer. You can close before. It takes 20 to 30 minutes. You'll just be signing a few documents and then you will be done. And then buyer sign and everything gets funded, and then the transaction is considered closed. And then you should get your funds pretty quick after the buyers sign. They will go out from the company either that day or early the next day. So you should definitely get your funds within 24 hours, unless we're looking at a weekend. So anyway, that is clear to close and closing date for sellers. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. And of course, if you ever need anything, don't be afraid to reach out. Have a good day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.